Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another weekly paycheck to paycheck budget with me video. We're going to be budgeting out my husband's paycheck for May 31st, the last paycheck for the month. And I wanted to start off real quick saying sorry for my appearance right now. Our air conditioner went out the day before we left for our vacation. So we are currently on day 2.5 with no air conditioning. So I just wanted to get this video up for you guys, and then hopefully when we get back on track to Wednesday's video, the air conditioning will be replaced. So let's jump on. I'm going to explain kind of some things that changed in the budget for this week based on what I budgeted last week, and then join me on Wednesday and we're going to plan out June, and that way you can see how we're going to attempt to try to cash flow replacing the air conditioning as much as we can. So stay tuned for those. If you followed on the 24th, I budgeted out the 31st. So one change was my husband's overtime was actually more than we expected, and my pay was a little bit more from what was expected. But anyways, I want to make these black now because these are the actual numbers. So I did some of the updating without you guys just because I wanted to see what we were working with. So today I'm just going to kind of go through them with you, and then I'm going to talk about where things changed from last time. So what we ended up doing, we did earn our interest in our savings account. So what we do is we have a few different savings accounts. We have our emergency fund savings account, we have our sinking fund savings account, we have the girls savings account, and what we do is basically any interest that's earned, we earn 2.2% interest. We bank with Ally Bank. So any interest that's earned out of those three, we're putting all into the emergency fund. So on the 24th here, this $11.64, that's what the emergency fund savings account earned on its own. And then this $2.57 is what we transferred from the other two accounts into that there. We did end up bringing over $150. This was from my money here, and this was originally going to be applied as an extra payment towards the principal on the mortgage. However, when we come down, you'll see that we're going to use it towards the new air conditioner. So my husband, we put 9% before taxes into his 401k. We've been increasing this 1% every month. So what we'll probably be doing is 10% in the 401k, and they'll probably do 5%, and we'll actually open up a Roth IRA. For the month of June, though, we're going to leave it at 9%. We would bump it up to 10, but we're going to go ahead and leave it at 9% for June. Just because, like I said, the air conditioner. So this is black because they put another $116.09 in there. $8.31, that's 15% of what I brought over. So that was put into that savings account, and then again, we brought the money out. So a lot of times up here, I'm just keeping track of the cash flow. So rather than thinking of this as just a budget, it's really cash flow planning or managing your cash flow. So I like to keep track of, you know, savings. What am I actually spending and how is it being allocated and things like that. Taxes, this changed from last week because my husband's overtime was more. So federal was $30.07. Arizona State was $21.13. Medicare $18.70, and then Social Security was $79.97. And then you can see here the interest that we put into the emergency fund. Now, we ended up not doing the 10% into the emergency fund last week or this week. Again, one, we did go over, we added some money, we spent a little more money on the cruise. So if you watched last week, we were leaving for our cruise. So we did end up kind of splurging and spending some money on some things that we didn't originally plan for. But we did have a really good time. Stay tuned. We're going to have our cruise vlogs coming out. And then Ricky and I are actually I convinced them to do a live cruise chat Q&A with you guys. So plan on that probably either later this week once the air conditioner is fixed, or next week. And we're going to talk about the cruise. And then we'll leave it open at the end for any Q&A. So if you guys, I know some people like to ask Ricky some questions. He's always working, so this would be your chance. So keep an eye out for that. Giving, we ended up doing $112.39. Ricky, one of his coworkers actually is giving him a welding shield, and another coworker painted it for him. It came out really good. So he made lumpia for all the guys at work, so that's basically the cost of everything for that. Family life insurance $5.59, and then the long-term disability was $4.64. We ate everything in the fridge. before going on the cruise. So when we got back, we did have to restock up on everything. So we did end up spending $120.61 on groceries. Now here's where I changed some things. So originally I had budgeted $190 as the extra principal payment. The $180 is what is already set up automatically with the mortgage company. So we just did the $180 instead of doing the $190, and then again the $150 instead of doing that, putting it down here. So you can see here we had some money left over from other paychecks, so we put it towards the home maintenance. So we were able to put total of $315.30. That's going to go towards the air conditioner. Now the air conditioner, like I mentioned, the day before we left for the cruise, we went out, the girls had their haircut, Ricky had his haircut, we came home and the air conditioner wasn't working. So luckily we had our home warranty that we bought when we purchased the home. It was just for 1 year, so it's good until August. So I called them up, and they sent out our air conditioning people, the people that cleaned our air conditioner in April, who we have a maintenance thing through. They said, yeah, go ahead and have them come out. So we got them out on Saturday right before we left for the cruise, and they diagnosed it. They let the home warranty know what needed to be done. So we were kind of just waiting. We thought it was just the compressor, but it turns out the whole unit needed to be replaced. So they could not move forward until they heard from us, and unfortunately they didn't hear from us until we got back off the ship, basically Saturday. So I called them on Saturday, and so this is the deal. They are paying for the new unit, they're paying for the labor, and that's it. We have to pay for the second person that needs to help. We need to pay for the crane to get it on top of the roof, and there's a few other things on there. They're only paying half of them, we have to pay the other half. So all in all, our out-of-pocket cost is going to be, so it came out to $2,875. However, when we did the chemical clean in April, we spent $560, and they said they would apply that $560 towards that. So we are going to have to pay $2,315 out of pocket for the air conditioning. Good news is we don't have to pay all of it, because we were expecting a new air conditioner with labor and installation and all of that to be closer to $6,000, so that's fine. That's what our emergency fund is for. We have $6,700 in the emergency fund right now. Like I said, out of this month, we'll be able to put $315 towards it. Join me for June and see how much are we actually going to have to pull out of savings to cover that expense. But that's what we have here. I'm going to make this orange because the money was not spent yet. We just have this money hanging out, ready to go. So right now I'm just kind of updating the colors here because I like to make, when the money is gone, it's black. So I know like it's done. That expense is done. Because the air conditioner went out, we could go stay at a hotel at our own expense. Like I mentioned yesterday, it was 90 degrees inside the house all day. So I finally had a breaking point and said, okay, can't handle it anymore. So I was looking up hotels. It would cost, 60 to 70 bucks a night for a hotel. Instead, I said, let's go to the store and buy a blow-up pool and a tarp. So we went to we got a pool, a tarp to put under the pool, because right now our backyard is just all dirt. And then we brought out our little, we have a awning thing, not an awning, we have a tent cover. I can't even talk right now. It's so hot in here. And I think right now today it's 87 degrees inside. So that's what the $65.10 is. We bought a large tarp and a blow-up pool to help keep us cool. So as soon as I get this video up for you guys, I'll be joining the girls. They're already in the little blow-up pool outside. Ricky's at work. He's back to work. We're back to the grind. But we are all sleeping in the living room right now because we have a ceiling fan in the living room. So we brought the 2 fans we had in the bedrooms out. We have the kitchen fan going. So that's kind of what we're doing. And then at night when it cools off, we're opening up all the windows. We do have the blackout curtains, so we're keeping all of the curtains closed throughout the day. When the outside temperature becomes cooler than our inside temperature, that's when we open up all the windows. So that seems to be okay. It is what it is. But like I said, just thank goodness we have the home warranty, or our whole emergency fund would be going to purchase this AC right now. Car maintenance. So before we left, we did end up getting spark plugs and stuff on the car, so that was $32.45. And then coming on down here, this is where some things changed. So eating out, we spent another $138.44. Date night, I put 21. We basically had purchased wine and stuff. We still have a little bit of car gas money. We still have a little bit of motorcycle gas money, so we'll see what gets spent this week. And then the eating out is done. We stocked up on groceries, so we're good. And I do have one plated delivery coming on Thursday, so we're good for food for the week until next pay. So now here is where we did end up adding $451.41 to the vacation. So the weather was kind of, it was, you know, you can't control the weather, so it was windy and cold. So we did end up purchasing new jackets, kind of like rain-resistant, windbreaker type jackets from Burlington while we were in California before we got on the cruise. And then we did end up kind of splurging with the girls. We let them do the Build-A-Bear workshop. We did the green eggs and ham. Ricky bought some watches. I bought a blanket, one of the carnival blankets. So we did end up spending some money, and we had a really good time. That, you know, we didn't originally budget that, but we had the money and we were fine with that. So that's what we went over a little bit on there. If you joined me last week, I had the mortgage and all that stuff put in the bank account ready to go. So that everything came out. Actually, everything came out today because the first was on the weekend. So like I said, for the most part, we still have some gas for the week that we'll be paying for, and we'll see if anything else comes up for the rest of the week. But that should be it. So on the side here, I keep all of our checking and savings accounts so I can balance the checkbooks. I share this with you guys every once in a while. Normally in these videos, I budget out the current week based on what numbers we actually have, and then I project the next week. I'm not doing that for May because we are moving into a new month. So you'll have to join me. Like I said, we're going to budget out June, and then we'll get back to our weekly budgets the way we do it. So coming on down for our income account, basically we have the $315 for the air conditioner that will just sit in that account, and then we will move money from savings to cover. You know, they basically said once they install it, we'll have to pay them. So we will take the money out of savings. Our emergency fund is $6,707. We'll take what we need out. We will pay them, and then during June we'll be paying back the emergency fund. So hopefully we'll still equal out around $6,000 by the end of June. These are what's coming up, necessities. These are the bills that need to be paid. So the grocery money, we used our Discover card, so now we just have to make that payment on the Discover card. Household, same thing. We use the Discover card, so we just need to make that payment. We have our water, sewer, trash ready to go. That comes out on the 10th. We still have $17.25 worth of car gas and $22.28 for motorcycle gas. Realistically, we just use this as gas. So today, Ricky used the car and he filled up the car. So that's probably, you know, one of these will be gone, and then he'll fill up the motorcycle once this week. So most likely both of these will be spent. This $391, that is a pending payment coming off of the Discover card, because on the cruise we, you know, we use the Discover card to pay for gas and eating out and our balance on the cruise. So this is a pending payment that we've made, and then we still have $222.95 worth of our vacation money. So those are basically what they're doing is we use the Discover card, so though we're waiting for those to post. They're pending transactions. So once those post on the Discover card, I make the payment. And so that's what's kind of going on over here under card, okay? So I put in orange, what have we spent on the card that's still pending, so I can see what's pending. And then in black, this is what's the current balance is, so I know, okay, I just made this payment. Everything is processing. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and the reason we're doing that is because we earn 2% cash back on restaurants and gas, and then we earn 1% cash back on everything else. So we're just kind of, you know, earning a little bit of free money here if we can. So that's basically what we got going on there. Our investments, my husband's 401k is up to $3,519. That's awesome. He had his first profit share match. So stay tuned for our net worth report. I'm going to go over that in more detail. And then our Robinhood account, we have 104 in our Robinhood account. As far as our sinking fund savings accounts, I still have 83 cents from the money I put over and transfer back and forth. And then we have 56.73 towards the motorcycle insurance. So we pay that one lump sum. So we're just putting $18.91 every month aside, and then when it's time to the yearly payment, we will pay the whole year. Also, I did get notified that the car is coming due. So I'm going to take a look at the car insurance and see what would the yearly be, what discount would it be, and maybe we're going to pay the year for the car insurance as well. This had the savings for the vacation that we just spent, so now this is down. We got to rebuild up our new vacation fund. The girls fund, basically they have their spending money here, and I keep track of what it is. So they have their giving, the G is for their giving amount, and the S is for their savings amount. So that's just a note for me. And then these are the due dates I have on the side here. So this is what I'm keeping track of here. This helps me balance my checking accounts or my bank accounts, and I can kind of see where everything is at. The heat has kicked in. My brain has shut up. I just want to make sure if there's anything else I want to talk about. All right, guys, so thank you again for joining me for another weekly Paycheck to Paycheck budget with me. As I mentioned, stay tuned for our cruise vlogs and Ricky and I's live cruise talk. We're going to talk about the current cruise and how it went, and what we plan on doing for future cruises. And again, we'll leave it open at the end for an open Q&A for you guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.